Hi friends, it's me, Drew Michael, and this is Makes Sense With Me, a podcast where we are podcasting. Alright. I just got done flossing my teeth, so I don't have to do that during the recording. God damn, I was editing an episode, I think like last week or something, and could not fucking handle myself just fucking flossing my teeth in the middle of recording, as if I don't already give the lowest quality recording. Like, it was like, what is fucking wrong with me? I was so sick of my own shit. I literally was like, I gotta stop this shit. This is fucking dumb. So anyway, I did it before, and now we have clean teeth. Except for I ate like a big thing of Pad CU, and I'm literally like, it feels like my teeth are covered in sugar. It's super fun. And we had drinks, before dinner, so my teeth are just whoop-de-doo. Oh my god, you guys, I can't wait to tell you all about my weekend. It was so fun. And I can't wait to tell you about a movie I recently watched. But before I do that, I do want to talk to you guys about some other things having to do with movies that I've just fucking had it with, and I need to say them out loud. Now, there's a third thing that I can't remember, but there's at least two things that I just fucking cannot with, and maybe I'll remember the third thing while I'm talking about the first two, and I'll talk about it, okay? So, before we get into that, I do want to ask you to please rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast, wherever you listen to this podcast, or other podcasts, but, who cares about those? And please email us, and it makes sense with me podcast. Sorry, there was a fucking billboard with Trump on it, and I was trying to read it. I'm also like in like this really like single lane with barriers on both sides construction, like long freeway construction, and it's dark, and the car in front of me keeps hitting their brakes, so just pray for me. I mean, if you're hearing this, I'm alive. That's the good news. This reminds me of that time I was like driving through the Everglades. When was that? Anyway, all right, so I've recently been watching more movies, which is actually kind of exciting, because recently there's actually been some good movies, such as, and I think I've talked about it before, Wuthering Heights. I really liked that, in quotations. It was really, from just a cinematography, sets, costumes, fucking fantastic. There was definitely a huge section of the movie that was just like Margot Robbie in beautiful clothes. Thank you. And that's all I wanted for like so long. I mean, the gay in me is just like, thank you so much. And while we're on the topic of gay in me, I am loving the new Madonna album. It is just a dance floor album. The whole thing is all about dancing, and there's all these like little voiceovers and making, Madonna making club dancing spiritual, which is what we've always loved about her. And of course, just like being super old now and just having, ass implants, and we just like love it. Yay! I need to tell you guys about the ass on the waiter at the restaurant we just ate at. We were all like, that. Maya looked at me and said, "Dat ass dough," and we were just like, what? This guy, it was like, I think I've seen an ass, but this ass was just like, people probably just pay him to eat sushi off of his ass. Like, you could fit a couple different roles on this ass. And just, mwah, chef's kiss. His ass was chef's kiss. Alright? I think his name was Maki. So, there you go. Alright, so what other movies have I seen recently? Oh, of course I saw Hamnet. Bawled my fucking eyes out. I think I've already talked about that. Ugly crying. Such a good movie. I've just been trying to watch all the gay movies I can, because there's been some good ones. There's still some movies. I think there's a movie with like Paul Mescal and like someone. Oh, Paul Mescal was in Hamnet, but I think he was also in a gay movie with other gay actors. Need to watch those movies. Haven't watched them, so yeah. But let me tell you about things that I will not tolerate anymore. All right, one of them is like I'll tolerate it, but I don't want to. You know what I mean? Which is what tolerating is. It's like I will tolerate it, but I don't want to. So I am no longer willing to accept a TV show or a movie wherein like a person gets surprised out of nowhere hit by a bus or a car. And it's always a bus. You know? I will not accept that anymore. I will not. Wait, what? Oh. I thought that sign said I was in Frankenmuth, and I was like, I'm nowhere near Frankenmuth, I don't think. Or maybe I am. I actually don't know if I've ever driven this highway before. Anyway, so yeah, there's a scene in the first episode of The Boys, which I actually really like as a show, despite the fact that it's kind of ridiculous and very gory. But there is a scene, like first episode, the main character is like embracing his girlfriend, and the whatever character is the one that's like really fast, like the sexy black guy who runs really fast. He is running really fast because he's a superhero, and he accidentally runs through this guy's girlfriend, and like she's liquefied instantly, and then like he's just holding onto her hands, and I hated it so much that I almost didn't keep watching the show. And someone I really respected had told me, you gotta watch The Boys, such a good show. That happened, and I was like, oh my god. Same thing with season 1 of Beef. Loved the show Beef. Loved anything that's like, you know, lots of lead Asian actors, you know, talking about the Asian experience, especially the Asian American experience. One of the only white characters in Beef gets literally cut in half, and I know she was like a racist white billionaire bitch character, but I just was super unhappy about that. It was so gory, so over the top. I didn't think it fit in with anything else in the show, and it really upset me. And it has nothing to do, I'm not upset because she's white. I'm upset when shows suggest that certain people's lives aren't worth as much as other people's lives. You know what I mean? Like when they'll just kill someone, like whatever. I just think it's like really dehumanizing, obviously, but it's just like, I mean, even if someone's a bad person, that doesn't mean they're not worth anything, you know? Like everyone's worth something, and human life is worth a lot. And you can't, if you have to devalue a person A in order for person B to have value, that's not it. You know what I mean? Like everyone can have value. Nobody has to be ripped in half or cut in half or whatever, you know? I just don't like it. I couldn't watch the The Hills Have Eyes, that movie. Couldn't watch any of the Saw movies. Couldn't watch Hostel. Any of these gory movies where, like, especially Saw, it's like you are now going to be tortured to death in this gory ass way because you have committed one of some list of sins or whatever. And it's like, even if, like, we know that the bad guy is like a villain and is like torturing innocent people, it's as if, like, somewhere in the zeitgeist the idea is that, like, well, these people sinned though, like, in some way they deserve to be tortured to death because they committed a sin, you know. I don't know. It's like for any part of that movie to be produced, there has to be sin. There has to be Christianity. It's almost like in order for, you know, evil to exist, there has to be Christianity, you know. Anyway, so my main thing is, if a character gets hit by a bus, I'm turning off the movie and I will not be finishing it. And I will tell everybody that I fucking couldn't. Because I actually think that is just really, really tired, overdone, bad writing. It's like soap opera. It's so bad. It's so tired. And reductive. So no, not into it. Even if it's at the end of the movie. And I guess the only exemption to this rule of mine is Mean Girls, because she doesn't die, and then she walks around in like a spine brace, like a neck brace, or like a metal cage, and it's actually super funny. It's even funnier in the musical. Love it. Alright, so the second thing that I've really had it with in movies is in rom-coms, at the end of the movie, they go out of their way. There's always, like, you know, there's been a misunderstanding, and the two lovebirds, like, after they've been, like, loving each other and been, like, so happy together, there's some kind of misunderstanding, something happens, and it leads them to be, like, not happy with one another, right? And then they're taking distance, and they might not ever see each other again, and one of them needs to forgive the other one or whatever, you know, one of them needs to apologize, and so there's this scene at the end where they go running to the airport, or they gotta interrupt a wedding, or they've gotta fucking, like, whatever, and they've gotta be like, stop, like, I love you, and I'm sorry, and, like, you didn't hear the full sentence. The second half was I love you, and, like, whatever it is, that is, like, a very common thing, and I get it, and I'm fine with all of that I've just said, even if it's cheesy, even if it's tired, even if it's been happened a million times. There is something about the traditional rom-com structure that we just really love, really pulls at our heartstrings. It makes us feel all warm and cummy at the end. But what I cannot handle is when the last scene happens in front of a whole bunch of fucking people that are strangers. Like, they're in the middle of a meeting, or they're in the middle of a wedding, or, like, whatever. Especially if it pulls the actors out of character. Like, no, not the actors, but, like, if having that scene happen the way it's happening does not match who those characters are, like, and if it just doesn't, if it's completely unnecessary, like, if it's like, couldn't you have just, like, waved and said, hey, come over here for a second, let's go away from this group of strangers or these people that are waiting on you to say something. Why don't we just step over here for a second, and have a little chat. I'm so sorry, it'll only take a second, but let's not do this in front of all of these people, and they always do it. They always do it in front of all the people, and I don't know why. I've never ever liked it. I've never ever thought it was organic or real. I think that the filmmakers think that all these people standing around witnessing the love between these two people is like, aw, and like they're all gonna be like, yes, aw, yay, clap, and then it makes us all like we're a part of that group and we're all watching. And it's like, no, I would be totally fine if they pulled that person aside and they just had a private moment. I would like that so much better. I don't want, and maybe it's because I don't want like public displays of affection, I don't know, but I'm just like, and especially when everyone all the strangers or all the people watching, when they're all just fine with it happening too. And I'm thinking to myself, like, if this were me, and like, maybe they're on the subway platform and like they're holding up the train, I'd be like, get off the fucking train, you asshole. Like I wouldn't just be like, oh my God, he's proposing. I'd be like, can you do it somewhere else? Like, you got the rest of your fucking lives. Can you get off my fucking train so I can get to work? I suddenly am very much a New Yorker. Anyway, I don't know. I just hate it. I just hate it so much. I just think it's so cheesy and dumb. I mean, I can tell you right now, there's a scene in Heated Rivalry, one of the best scenes in Heated Rivalry between the two lovers. I don't think this will ruin anything, but they're talking on the phone, and I can't remember why it happens this way, but like, I think it's like, the one guy's upset and the other guy is like, tell me what's wrong, like tell me why you're upset. And he's like, I can't tell you, like I don't know if I can find the words to tell you. And so one of the guys is Russian and he's in Russia, and the other guy is Canadian, he's in Canada, and they're like, they haven't told each other they love each other yet. And then the Russian guy is like basically telling him like, I love you, I want to be near you, I miss your body, I miss your touch, I like want to, you're my whole world, like whatever. He says all this fucking insanely beautiful shit, and he's like sitting in like a tunnel under an overpass or something in the rain in Russia, and like the Canadian guy is fucking wherever, but at home or something. And he tells him like, I want you to tell me, if you can't find the words to tell me in English, then like tell me in Russian. And so he tells him all this gorgeous shit in Russian, and of course we're reading the subtitles, and it's just like, and the Canadian guy doesn't speak Russian, so he doesn't know what he's saying, but it's like he's literally telling him he loves him, but he doesn't know. But a part of him can just hear like the intentionality and the passion in his voice, and gets like a little something, at least feels like honored that he's shared, this information with him in whatever language. But anyway, like that scene has nobody else in it. It's a gorgeous scene. And there's other scenes where he finally tells him in English that he loves him, and there's nobody else around, and it's just the most amazing scene, and it makes way more sense, and we get to be a fly on the wall. If there's a whole crowd of people standing around who get to see this, it's not special anymore. I want to be a fucking fly on the wall. I want to be watching something that no one else gets to see, and I get to see it. That's the shit I want. I want those moments, those really hidden, precious, those precious moments. That's what I want. God. Anyway, all right. So let me tell you about my trip, and I want to. It's kind of perfect because it fits perfectly with the movie that I watched. So the night before, let's see. I don't know how it worked. I think I had Thursday off, and then I worked Friday, and then Saturday morning I woke up and I went to Grand Rapids, Michigan. Okay, and I've only ever been to Grand Rapids once, and that time I went was only there for the day. Was not very impressed. Thought it was just kind of like whatever. And I just remember everything being really gray and just kind of like boring. And I visited my friend, and her girlfriend lived in like a basement apartment. And I was just kind of like, okay, whatever, you know? And but I was invited to come for the weekend, okay? So Maya's family is Latvian, all right? And my niece Leah and my sister, they're all sister-in-law, right? They're all Latvian, and they were having some kind of like Latvian music and dance festival in Grand Rapids. Apparently there's a lot of Latvians on the west side of Michigan, specifically in the Grand Rapids, Holland, you know, these like kinds of places. And so basically, where am I at? Where am I at? Yeah. Okay, 3.5 miles. Okay. Someone just sent me a grinder message, and I suddenly realized I hadn't been watching my map for like this entire time. Great. So, they're basically like, we're gonna be doing all this Latvian shit during the day, but then like in the evenings, like, you know, we're just gonna be like eating and hanging out in the hotel. We might go out, you know, have fun, whatever. And I was just like, oh my God, I might come. And then they were like, ooh, sorry, we don't have any room in our hotel, but we really want you to come. And I was like, oh. And then I looked into it, and a hotel room like for just me is like, it's gonna be like $250 or something for the night. I was like, oh. And so so basically I just decided to like fly by the seat of my pants a little bit. I just woke up, and I think a big part of it was two things. I think one, I've been watching this new series called Elle. It's about Elle Woods from Legally Blonde. It's like her in high school, and she's like going to a new place, and she's like maintaining her values and herself, but like learning new things about herself because she's in a new place. And like, it's a really good series. It's a really good show, and it was just so funny because it's silly, but it just really motivated me to like be me and be brave and do things and go out there, right? So me, a 40-year-old person watching this show where all the actors are probably like in their late 20s playing high schoolers, but set in the 90s, and they're all supposed to be like sophomores and juniors in high school. But of course, like, I lived through the 90s, so it's like, I definitely think this show is made for my generation. Like, Legally Blonde came out when I was, what the fuck? Oh my God, I thought someone was like banging on the outside of my car, but there was fireworks going off. My fucking countrymen and women with these fireworks. I cannot. So anyway, that was a show I watched. And then I also watched the night before Friday, I guess Thursday night or whatever, I watched this show a movie called Pillion. I think it was called Pillion, Pillion. And I've been wanting to watch it. It's the guy from Harry Potter who played like Igglewart fart fucker. I don't know. Danny Mugwarts. I never saw Harry Potter, but everyone says like, oh, what's his name? That's Ron Weasley. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I just know the actor. I've seen him in other things. I had no idea he was in Harry Potter, but he has kind of silly teeth, and his eyes are a little close together. He's really cute, but like he's just kind of a funny, like darkly comedic actor, I think. Very British, obviously. But anyway, this movie is with him, and then of course Alexander Skarsgård, who I'm recently dripping for. And so I was like, gotta watch it. And from what I understood, it was about kink, it was about domination. It was like, I actually thought from the trailer that Alexander Skarsgård was playing like some kind of like a dominatrix sex worker who like is teaching this young gay guy how to be like into S&M and shit. But it's not exactly true. That's not what it was. So basically it's a guy who's like, he's a dom, and he like, it's almost like weird. It's almost like a cult. He's like leather dom daddy, and he like, all of his friends are like leather people, and like he drives a motorcycle around, and like a, not like a Harley, but like a racing motorcycle kind of thing. And he always wears like a full suit, like a little motorcycle leather suit. And of course it's Alexander Skarsgård, so it's just like, let me see your anus. Like, I just love you. You're so hot. Yes. And so he basically is this dom daddy, and he like sees Mugglewarts McFuckface like at like a pub, and is like, here's my number, call me. And like, so they end up going on a date, and like there's a lot of different things about this movie. So like, basically it's like they end up being in a relationship where Alexander Skarsgård is dom and the other guy is like submissive, but he's like, they become like a relationship, but like there's not a lot of intimacy. It's like fucking, it's like worship, it's devotion, it's like, you know, Ron Weasley guy will like, God, I really need to learn people's names. He'll like cook and clean his house, and like, you know, he wears like a chain around his neck with a lock on it, and he like shaves his head, and he like has to sleep on the rug on the floor at the foot of the dom's bed, and like all this stuff. But then like at some point, you know, like they go out, you know, like the only time they're really like touching is when they're fucking, or they're like on the motorcycle together. And you know, Alexander Skarsgård like tells him all the time, like, you know, what he needs to do, when he needs to do it. Here's the shopping list, go buy the groceries. And you're never sure if like he's also like using him to pay for everything. It's like, wait, is he buying all the groceries? Are you ever giving him money? Because even in like a controlling relationship, like there's like the whole money as a form of control thing, you know, like the wife doesn't get to manage the money, and like the only money she has is the money her husband gives her. You know, she wouldn't be expected to like have a job and make money and then use her money to buy everything for him in a lot of those cases, because again, whoever has the money has some power. But maybe it is like that. I don't know. That doesn't get delved into. But Ron Weasley guy, his mom is like dying of cancer. So of course, like his parents like she's like, I just want you to find a nice guy and like settle down so I know you're happy before I'm not here anymore. And then like they're of course really like skeptical about the relationship because they feel like this guy is using him and doesn't treat him well and whatnot. But then they're like, you don't understand the kind of relationship we're in. It's like a sub-dom thing. And like, they never come out and say like, hey, listen, lady, this is the deal. We like it this way. But then there is this element of like Ron Weasley's character being like, seeing other sub-dom couples when they go out like camping or whatever with some of these other couples, and they've got like a whole group, like all their friends are sub-dom people, and they all wear leather, and they all wear like assless like latex wrestling singlets and like whatever the fuck. And they all shave their heads and have like chain necklaces. But one of the other like subs says to like Ron Weasley, like, I really wish his actual character in this movies was also called Ron Weasley, because that just, I mean, fuck, what's her name? J.R. Tolkien? No, what's her fucking name? T.T. Barnum? What's the bitch's name who hates trans women? That bitch. Fuck her. Fuck her and all her stupid fucking books. I have no, none of it. Won't have any of it. Fuck her. What is her name? Whatever. So, one of the other subs says, like, I don't know how you do it. Like, you guys are so hot together, but, like, you guys don't ever kiss? And he's like, no, we do not kiss. It's not a part of our relationship. And he's like, I don't know how you do it. I would die without kissing. Like, because he's like, I love my partner, and we're like, we love each other. And, like, part of the trust of, you know, I give myself to him and I'm devoted to him is, like, the fact that I know he loves me, and we have this beautiful thing. It's a different kind of thing, super alternative, and there's a lot of power play. Like, I completely give him all my power, and I love it, and I find it so hot. And it was like very trad wifey, but like obviously queer, and obviously I know there's a lot to like domination and S&M and all that shit that I like don't fully get as someone who's not a part of it. But there has to be like love. I mean, it's just a very interesting movie, and I really liked it, but it did definitely make me feel like wanting love, relationship, excitement, sex, naughtiness, adventure. Like, all of these things that I've been watching lately have made me really want to branch out. And so I did. I basically, Saturday, like late morning, I got in my car. I said, I'm going to drive to Saugatuck, which is the gayest little city in Michigan. And I'm going to, I think I talked about this last week, but I'm going to go like to the beach. And I had heard that there was a nude beach, and there's not anymore because this country fucking sucks, and we'll talk about that later. Basically, our country is afraid of sex, our country is afraid of nudity, our country is basically just like very uncomfortable in their own skin, and so we'll never have nice things because they fucking can't, you know? Everyone's so afraid of sin, fuck, right? So anyway, meanwhile, the people who are like in the most anti-sin are the ones doing the most fucked up shit. So fuck, right? Just be a good person. Don't condemn others. Just like don't do bad shit, and don't tell other people that their shit is bad when like you're literally hurting yourself and others with your shit. Just fucking don't. Okay, bitch? So I did. I went to the beach. I got in Lake Michigan. I got some sun. I didn't get sunburned. Then I drove like to a state forest or a state park where I went hiking in the woods, and nothing sexy happened the entire time. And then I was sweaty and sticky, and I got some bug bites, and I was covered in like SPF 70. And then I was like, Maya was like, come to Grand Rapids, like we really want you to come. And I was like, you know what, I will go because it's not that far from here, and I will hang out with them. And you know, if there's nowhere for me to sleep, I'll either get a cheap motel near the airport, or I'll just drive home. And I was like, I cannot have another weekend where I just sit on the couch all day Saturday and then Sunday I maybe go to the grocery store and I maybe go to the gym. I just can't do it. It's summer, it's beautiful out. I just need to get out and adventure, and I'm just so happy I did, because I had a lot of fun. I learned a lot. I saw new things. I mean, there's so much in Michigan. Even though I was born and raised in Michigan, I haven't seen all of Michigan. There's a lot of parts that I've never even been to. I mean, I moved out of Michigan when I was 18, and when I came back, the only places I went were the places that I'd already been, So, yeah, I'm this is a beautiful state. I want to adventure. I want to see shit. And so I found out that my nieces actually had a suite. So they had a living room. I was like, wait, you have a living room in your room? And they were like, yeah, we have a bedroom, and there's a living room section, and there's a door that closes or whatever. And I was like, oh, bitch, you've got a pull-out couch then. I was like, is anyone sleeping on the pull-out? And they're like, oh, I don't know if it's a pull-out, it's just a couch. But you can sleep on the couch if you want. And I got there, I was like, lift the cushion up, and I was like, oh, bitch, it's a pull-out! And that pull-out was what saved me. Because you know what? The truth is that the universe has you. It has you. I still truly believe that. But you start to forget. You start to say, oh, I can't travel because I don't know what it's going to be like here. I don't know what this is going to be like there. And you get to this place where you're remember we talked about weeks ago, your life just gets so small. You're so afraid of things. You don't take any chances. You don't take any risks. You don't take any trips. And then you find out that if you just put yourself out there, you're going to meet people that are so nice and so caring. I mean, complete strangers will help you along the way. And yes, there's evil people and bad people, but you know what? They exist whether you go out on a trip or not. And this day and age, you could be the worst shit could happen to you on the fucking internet, and you didn't even leave your house. So why not get out there and do shit? Why not have a life, right? So I ended up meeting a lot of cool people. There were so many hot guys that were kind of into me, I went out dancing with my nieces and their cousin, and it was Leah's first time at a gay bar. It was so cute. I want to have her on to talk about that eventually. And her fiance Kat was there. It was so fun in my mind. And we danced, but holy shit, I ate a huge plate of nachos, and we drank a bunch of vodka drinks. I had vodka lemonade, Bloody Mary, I had a gin and tonic, and then we were eating so much nacho, and then we went dancing, and I was farting and burping the whole night. I was I don't even think I can move my body right now the way I want to be able to, because I'm just so fucking bloated. It was crazy. But we made it happen, and there were cute guys, and I talked to some of them, blah, 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 whatever. And of course, the whole thing is there's guys that might actually like you, and they're cute, and then you tell them, well, I'm visiting from another place, and they're like, oh, okay. And those guys who are actually maybe interested in something are instantly I'll talk to someone else, because you don't live here. Not everyone's excited to have a long distance relationship, right? But then, of course, the people you do excite when you're traveling are the people that just want a quick fuck. And I'll tell you this. We were at that Thai restaurant, and that big bootied waiter was there, and this really adorable Asian waitress girl named Stella. She was so cute. She was actually our waitress, but this guy with this big, beautiful ass just kept bouncing, clapping through the room. We were just ah! We were actually not that exploitative, but whatever. We were just oh my god. I'm sure he goes everywhere and knows that his ass is 100% the nicest ass in the entire world. I'm sure he gets a lot of compliments, and I'm sure he's a bottom. I'm sure he gets fucked real good. And if not, whatever, bitch. Do whatever you want. Love it. Great for you. Anyway, I would let him fart into my mouth. I'm not sure about that, but I think I would. Adventure. All right. So while that was happening, I'm like kind of blowing up a little bit on Grindr and Scruff. For me, when it rains, it pours, kind of with that. Especially if you go to a new place, though, you open it up and you're like a new face. People are like, oh, I fucked all these other people. Who's this? You know? And my picture's not even good. It doesn't really show much of my body, but anyway, so this guy, this like skinny, kind of like Russian-y looking guy messaged me. He looked like maybe like he was 23. And it was just like, hey, what's up? And then he showed me a picture of his fat, uncut dick. And I was just like, oh! I was like, what is happening? What is happening? It was too much. And I was like, he was like, come over right now. Like, I could have just gone over and just like been gagged, you know? But I was like, well, I am literally at dinner with my nieces and I have to like drop them off at their hotel and I need to drive back home tonight because I have to work tomorrow morning. So I'm just gonna ghost this guy. But, you know, I just think that like I had a lot of fun in Grand Rapids and it seems to be close to a lot of things. I'll be honest, I don't really live in Detroit, and I do like Detroit, but it has felt a little bit cold to me, colder than I was expecting. I don't mean temperature, I mean like the people. I mean, there's some nice people, there's some good people, but like, it's just a little bit, the word industrious is coming to mind, but like, it is just a little bit too, and I don't know. I was just feeling, I like Detroit, and if I lived in Detroit or I lived closer to Detroit, I would probably like that better. Right now I live out in the middle of the country. It's like white peopleville, you know, it's a little bit too conservative for my tastes where I live. But just like, I'd love to be in a more liberal place, with more diversity, obviously more and more, better food, and I'm not 100% sure I'm going to say that like I had like the best food. Well, although that Thai food tonight was really good, but the other food we had was just like from the hotel. Essentially, we were like playing it. We were being sleazy. We were just like, let's just get the continental breakfast every morning. Let's just like save money and whatever. Like, why the fuck not, right? And so I don't know. I feel like Grand Rapids is really cool, and it's kind of got like an urban, small city vibe, which I kind of like. I find that Detroit just feels very facade. I think that most of Detroit is the areas around Detroit, you know, like the actual city feels almost like it's like fake, you know. I think there are people that obviously live in Detroit, like downtown Detroit and different parts. And by the way, I've not explored it enough at all, but it just feels like people go into Detroit to work and then they leave Detroit. And then at nighttime, is there anyone there? Is there anyone left? And I mean, like, of course there are, but it feels like empty and alone. And actually what's weird is that Grand Rapids kind of felt like that too. but it was there on like a Sunday, so like it might be popping with a lot of people on the week, you know, when people are obviously there for work. There were things happening. I mean, like, we were at a Latvian festival and there was like thousands of Latvians walking around, but I don't know, it was, Grand Rapids was giving me a little bit of like, giving me flashbacks from like when I was in Germany living in a small university town. Like, there was things about it that were like reminding me of that. So like a little Euro. And I mean, obviously there's a lot of like Americans whose parents and grandparents, probably grandparents and great-grandparents, like moved here from Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, different parts of Europe, and like the Dutch. There's a lot of Dutch people in this western part of Michigan. So yeah, there's a big European influence, and so maybe some things are a little bit more Euro. And I love that. I love Europe. I love when I was in Germany. I'd love to be back there again. I'd love to go see a lot more Europe. I don't know, I'm just feeling more adventuresome. I'm starting to say like, okay, let's start saving. Let's put money away in an account, so we can save up to go on a trip somewhere. You know, let's definitely start making more money. Let's get all of our debts paid off, which I'm like, there's some light at the end of the tunnel for that. And then let's fucking start adventuring. Like, this is it. I'm unmarried. I have no kids. I have a dog, but my mother takes care of her. You know, maybe I need to start adventuring. Like, I've been wanting this for so long, and it's here. Like, what's stopping me? The only thing at this point stopping me is the fear of doing something. And then look what happens when I do something like really fun and awesome and just have a great time. You know, didn't have to deal with too much anxiety or depression. Just had a really good experience and learned a lot about myself and others and possibilities. I mean, traveling is only going to help you in your life. I can barely say that I'm well traveled, but from what I have done with travel, like, I mean, I've lived all over the country. There's definitely places I've not been. Like, I don't know the Southwest at all. So I need to go visit Priscilla. She wants me to, and I will. I don't know if I want to live there, but I definitely want to visit. But yeah, like, there's a lot I haven't seen in the country, but I have traveled a lot within the country, and the only other countries I've been to are like Germany, Switzerland, France, Canada, the Dominican Republic. I've never been to the UK. I've never been to Ireland. I've never been to, you know, Holland, Norway, Sweden, all of those places. I'd love to go to those places. I really would. I would love to travel a lot more. I want to see places. I want to see things. I want to try things. I just, like, this is the physical realm. Like, I want to experience it. There's no reason for me to, like, accumulate a whole bunch of wealth and then I die and, like, what? Who gets my money? I guess I give it to my nieces, but, like, me talking about having an extreme amount of wealth when I die, when I have no money in my checking account or savings. Oh dear. Actually, I do have $176 in my savings. So move over, bitch. Oh God. Anyway, that's about it. So glad I could do. Oh my God. There was a billboard that had an eagle wearing sunglasses. One lens was stars and stripes, or one lens was stars, and the other lens was stripes, and it said apostrophe Mary apostrophe and then it said Caw Mary Caw. Yeah, exactly. I hope you guys rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts, wherever you listen to this podcast. I hope you guys will email me at makesensewithmepodcast@gmail.com. And I do want to shout out to a little bartender named Kendall. You know who you are. Served us at the Embassy Suites bar. Tell your coworker, Nate, I think he's adorable. And if he ever wanted to go on a date, I would drive all the way back to Grand Rapids to go on a date with him. He's very cute. I loved his earrings. Love his energy. I'm pretty sure he thinks I'm funny. So that's a huge plus. And I don't know, maybe I could do some sub-dom stuff with him. He's giving a little like sub-dom. See, that's the thing though. Do I want to be a dom or do I want to be a sub? Because I actually would like to do both. I'd like to switch off, but there has to be intimacy. There has to be intense intimacy, and I don't know that I want to do that thing where you're like, they seal you up in latex and you have like a tube to breathe, but you're just like, or you're like fossilized. I know that's not for everybody, but I just want to say right here and now, I don't want that one. It's giving claustrophobia real hard, and sweaty, right? I mean, there's a time and a place for sweaty. All right. Hope you guys are filling your holes with, I think I said adventure the last time, so I have to say something else. I want your holes just full of so much fat booty and dick. Just all the fat booties, all the fat dicks, just raining on your holes. If you want that, or some big ass puss, big old pussy lips, just right in your holes, big old pussy holes. Or just, whatever makes you happy. Goodbye.